We're gonna start our caramel, 1½ cups of honey. So this is clover honey. I would say clover honey is probably the most popular honey that you'd find. I'm gonna take ½ cup of cream. We're just gonna combine it, the cream and the honey, and then put on the heat and let this get to 240 degrees. And then when that happens, we're gonna add a little bit of butter and some bourbon, a little bit of vanilla, and then we're gonna add some salt. And the salt is gonna give it that salted honey caramel flavor that's so popular these days. And it's gonna go terrifically with our pistachio and chocolate chip pancakes. Speaking of which, let's make some pancakes. We're gonna start with 1 3/4 cups of all-purpose flour. 2 1/4 teaspoons of baking powder. A little bit of salt. And that is the dry ingredients. And then we're gonna combine the wet ingredients. So we have a couple of eggs. One and a half cups of buttermilk. Some vanilla extract. 2 tablespoons of honey. 3 tablespoons of butter. It's melted, so it will incorporate into the wet ingredients. Then some orange zest. And then we're gonna chop up some pistachios and some semi-sweet chocolate. Pistachios are definitely one of my favorite nuts, and I love all things pistachio. I love pistachio cakes, I love pistachio gelato, pistachio ice cream, pistachio milkshakes. Now, when you're working with pistachio nuts, they're really dense, they're very firm. I think it's a good idea to kind of chop them up into smaller pieces, especially for, something like pancakes. Okay, that's the pistachios. And then we have some semi-sweet chocolate that we're gonna just chop up. And if you want to, you could use, semi-sweet chocolate chips as well. But we're gonna chop up our own chocolate. So we have shards of chocolate running through the pancakes. Not too bitter, not too sweet. They call it semi-sweet. Okay. I'm gonna put the wet into the dry, just until it forms a batter, and then we'll fold in the pistachios and the chocolate chips, or the chocolate shards. Smell that orange zest. When the pancakes hit the griddle or the pan, you're gonna smell the orange immediately. All right, chocolate and pistachios. So I think these are a little bit thick. I'm just gonna add a splash of buttermilk. I love buttermilk because it has like a little tang to it, but also promotes a tender pancake. Okay. Check on our caramel. Now at 240 degrees, we're gonna add a little bit of vanilla, a tablespoon of bourbon, a couple of tablespoons of butter, and some salt. After it gets to 240, then you can just add the ingredients and kind of swirl it around, and we'll have our caramel. That looks great. So good. First thing I taste is the chocolate and the orange together. And the crunchiness of the pistachios is in there, but the pistachio flavor isn't overwhelming, and that's good. And then you get a little bit of that sweet and savory thing happening with the caramel sauce.